Okay, so firstly, I would like to say that I know Georgia a little bit. I've been here before the war, during the war, and also after the war. So I always consider your country as very pro-European, pro-Western, already part of the West. Even you are not still member of the EU or NATO, but I consider your people as very pro-European minded. So, but as you have your own problems, we also have in Slovakia with the semi-authoritarian populist government, and there are many similarities. For example, recently you had parliamentary elections, and one of the main narrative of government propaganda was that if you vote for opposition, there is a risk of the war, and there were pictures of Ukraine war and everything like that. So similarly, in Slovakia, we had the presidential elections in spring, and the main candidate, who is from the government, was attacking, or people around him were attacking his rival, that he is pro-war candidate, that if he will be elected as a president, then your sons will be sent to Ukraine to fight. You know, it's completely nonsense. It's not the case. President in Slovakia doesn't even have this authority to send somebody to fight. It's question of government, parliament, and so on. You know, many stuff. But it was never any question that Slovakia would join the war in Ukraine. You know, it's science fiction. You know, so to blame that opposition candidate would be a pro-war candidate is nonsense. His problem was that he is pro-European, he's pro-Western, and that was it. So very similar like here. Then other thing. You already have the so-called Russian law. The people in our government would like to introduce the similar law about the agents of foreign influence, as Russia did first, later Hungary, and now Georgia. So it's another similarity. It's because our Prime Minister, Robert Fico, he hates media, he hates NGO, and in Slovakia, you know, we have a very good, vibrant civic society. What does it mean? It means that, for example, we have very good NGOs who are super cool on investigating of corruption, like Transparency International or Bureau on fighting against the corruption, or Let's Stop the Corruption. These are examples of NGOs who do a super cool job regarding investigations of stealing money, mostly from the state properties, or any kind of, you know, oligarchs' influence and so on. And that's, I would say, its motivation to, you know, put these NGOs under risk, because of course they are receiving foreign funds. You know, that kind of job will never be, you know, commercially viable. You know, they are doing it for that we will be living in better conditions and so on. And this is not commercial. And you need some grants, you know, and of course our government will not support people who are investigating their crimes. So we have very good cooperation between media and NGOs in Slovakia, you know, so it works. So all this foreign agent law, as you have it already, I hope in Slovakia it will be not introduced at the end, but you know, there are still people in government, they would like to pass it. So we will see. What next? Hysteria about LGBT community. It's, you know, as a member of EU, we have to take care about everybody, each ethnic minority, sexual minority. Each of us are equal. Whatever they like, whatever way of life they have, they are have the same rights as others. But our government, very similarly to Russian propaganda, is portraying LGBT community as a threat to our traditional values, as something unchristian, something, you know, unmoral or something. And it's super dangerous because, you know, in Slovakia, we already had recently a terrorist attack on the LGBT community. One crazy young man with a gun shot at young people only because they are homosexuals. So, you know, you can imagine that in atmosphere where already we had these troubles, our government politicians, they are again spreading hatred towards LGBT people. And LGBT community in Slovakia is a normal community as others. They just want to live their lives, they are not spreading any propaganda or whatever, as Russia is trying to portray LGBT as that we will not have a kids, we will not have a marriages or whatever. I have two kids, and I wish to LGBT community to live without any fear. Does it makes me criminal because I wish LGBT community to live in a normal life? Of course not. But this government already, for example, there is a new billboard in Bratislava. One political party said that no any cents will be spent on LGBT people. And this is unconstitutional because they are openly saying that because they are different, they will be not supported anyway. But it's, in Constitution, we have that each kind of people, nevertheless, what kind of religion they are or sexual orientation, they are equal. So they are saying that they are against our basic human rights. So that's maybe similar what's happening here.
Nick, also, what is the most challenge for Slovakia? You mentioned maybe it's problem of education or something like that.
I would say it's a problem of critical thinking, that people are brainwashed by propaganda. They are brainwashed by social networks. They now, social networks are full of disinformation campaigns. You have many influencers or many, let's so-called alternative media who spread a lot of lies. They do not, we serious journalists, we have a responsibility, what we are saying, what we are doing, writing. And if we accidentally make some mistakes, we have to apologize immediately. We have to tell only truth. But these guys from the alternative medias or influencers, they are spreading a lot of lies. And unfortunately, our government politicians, they are supporting them. Even if they are anti-Semites, for example, even if they are neo-Nazis, they are meeting them because these guys, even if they are saying a bad stuff, in certain part of society, they are very popular. They have a lot of followers. And if our government politicians are meeting them, they are giving them bigger legitimacy. But it's it's a really bad circle because it means that extreme violent opinions are becoming a part of mainstream. So if what I would say is the biggest challenge is to fight with this parallel universe where facts doesn't matter, only hatred and lies and everything. The problem is that this parallel universe is already pretty big, and it's bigger and bigger, and we have to find out how to deal with it because that's maybe the most challenging and unanswered question.